All right, we are live and the video is recording. Now, we have got ourselves a pretty wild case on our hands. But first things first, let's do a quick refresher before we dive in. As always, the interviews will be streamed live via the monitor that you're looking at right now. Once the interviews end, you'll be able to access all of the previous recordings on the playback monitor that's to your left. Now, keep in mind that you will be getting two different camera angles in your feed, camera A and camera B. Feel free to switch between the two as you see fit. And last but not least, don't overlook the evidence available to you in the case files. I'm sure that you'll need to reference those at some point. Okay, so the case. We've got Daniel Murphy, age 49, works as a financial planner. He was shot and killed in his home with a .38 caliber handgun that's registered to him. Now, according to the medical examiner, he died on September 12th. The exact time of death is not able to be determined because the body wasn't found until a few days after. Now, there are a few people of interest in this case. First up is Emma Richardson. She's Daniel's girlfriend who had also been living with him. Prior to Daniel's death, she had reported an incident of physical abuse that resulted in her right elbow being dislocated. The injury is verified. However, Daniel did deny all allegations regarding the abuse. Now, at first, I was ready to remove her as a potential suspect due to the elbow injury, which would obviously make it pretty damn hard for her to fire a weapon. But as it turns out, she is actually left-handed, which means that she absolutely could have pulled that trigger. Now, next up is her ex-husband, Charles Humphreys. There's nothing really notable regarding Charles's past, but he was seen entering Daniel's house the day of the murder. So, needless to say, he is definitely a person of interest. Now, I was also able to bring Charles and Emma's daughter, Rebecca, down to the station today. Now, there's nothing that really points to her being a suspect at this point in time, but she did live with her mom and Daniel, and she was aware of the abuse that her mom had reported. Now, last on our list is Daniel and Emma's neighbor, Janice Burks. Janice served 9 years in prison for killing her husband, who had a very long history of domestic violence. Now, the main reason that I brought her down here today is that she was also seen entering Daniel's house the day of the murder. So yeah, that's two people that were seen entering Daniel's house the day that he was killed. All right, now that is the basic overview. Okay, you can dive in deeper with the case files or some of the security cam footage that we also subpoenaed. That footage is already loaded up for you on the playback monitor. All right, now let's figure out what the hell happened here. All right, I'm gonna bring Emma in here first. Let's see what she has to say. All right, we'll see you in a few.
Hey, asshole! You like to hit women, huh?
What are you talking about?
Oh, no,
Get your hands off
please
me.
do I know what you did, Emma!
Look, I don't know what she told you, but I didn't lay a finger on her.
Oh, shut up and cut that shit! I know you did. If you ever do that again, I will kill you. I will fucking kill you. Do you understand me?
Man.
No, whatever! I will end you! You got that? I will fucking end you! You want to hit somebody? Hit me! Come on, hit me! That's what I thought, tough guy. Piece of shit.
Are you leaving him? Are you all right?
We can talk later. I gotta go.
Are you sure? Did something now just happen?
Look, I said we can talk later. I gotta go.
Okay, I got you. You go ahead, I'll get the suitcase.
Okay.
All right, we are live and the video is recording. Now, we have got ourselves a pretty wild case on our hands. But first things first, let's do a quick refresher before we dive in. As always, all right, Emma, we are recording. Today is September 19th. I am Detective Martin Ruiz, badge number 7621, and with me here today is Emma Richardson. So Emma, can you please go ahead and spell your first and last name for me?
EMMARICHARDSON.
Thank you. And can you please acknowledge that this statement is being video and audio recorded and that you are consenting to this recording?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. And lastly, I just need you to acknowledge that we've already gone over your rights and that you are willfully making this statement.
Yes, that's also correct.
All right. Thank you, Emma. So, yeah, let's just keep it simple and start with you telling me where you were the day of Daniel's death.
I was staying at a motel.
And which motel would that be?
The Best Stay Motel on the southeast part of town.
Now, is there a reason that you didn't go to work that day?
I wasn't feeling well, so I decided to take a sick day.
And you work at Rose and Davis Financial Services, right?
Yes, I'm a junior account executive.
And Daniel, he works there as well. Is that also correct?
Yes, actually, he's the one who got me the job there.
And the two of you were romantic partners. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, do you mind maybe elaborating a little bit more on this relationship that you two had?
Sure. What exactly would you like to know?
Well, I guess we can start with the police report that you had filed on September 10th. Now, based on what I read, it seemed that this relationship that you two had was not that pleasant, was it?
No, but at least not lately anyway.
Now, you claimed that he had grabbed you pretty forcefully, too. I mean, so much so that he dislocated your right elbow. Is that right?
Yeah, but I don't want you to think that was a norm or anything.
So that's not his normal behavior.
No, it wasn't. We had been together for 6 months at least, and I moved in with him about a month ago. He had never once laid a finger on me the entire time or shown any warning signs.
So then what exactly happened on that day? I mean, why did he have this sudden change in behavior?
He was jealous of a client of ours that we met for dinner.
And who was the client?
Just a prospective client. His name was Jason Anderson.
Jason Anderson. All right, and what exactly happened with Jason?
Well, Daniel had to take a call, so he stepped outside. He was out there a good amount of time, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And during that time, Jason and I started talking. I mean, he talked a lot and he was pretty funny. So we talked and had a laugh. That was all. Then when Daniel returned, I think he had the wrong impression. I mean, on the ride home, he kept questioning me about what we were talking about. He wanted to know why we were so happy, and he wanted to know if I found Jason attractive. He even accused me of flirting with some guys in the office from before. Honestly, I have no idea what he was talking about.
So has Daniel showed signs of jealousy like this in the past?
No, but I mean, there was never a situation like this before anyway.
You can continue.
Well, when we got home, he didn't seem to calm down at all. We were in the kitchen at the time, and he accused me of lying, and he said he didn't believe anything I had told him. I tried to de-escalate the situation by leaving, but then he blocked me with his body and backed me into a corner. And he grabbed me by the shoulders and forced me to tell him the truth. But what was I supposed to say? I already told him the truth. So then I pushed him off of me. And that's when he yanked me really hard by the arm and threw me to the floor. Oh my God, it hurt like hell. And then when I was on the ground, he kept yelling and screaming at me over and over. I mean, I can't even remember what he was saying.
Was he drinking that night?
No, the man hardly ever drank at all. I mean, I can't even remember the last time he had a drink.
Now, according to the police report, your daughter, Rebecca, she was there when this had all happened. Is that right?
Yes, she was upstairs in her room at the time, and she heard the arguing, so she came down to the kitchen to see what had happened. I mean, she asked me what happened, and I told her we had been in an argument. Then she asked me what I was doing on the floor, and I told her I had accidentally fallen.
So why did you lie to her?
I don't know. I was scared. I mean, it all happened so quickly. I couldn't even think straight.
And what happened after that?
Well, Daniel could see that I was really hurt, so he picked me up off the ground and took me to the hospital. On the ride there, he kept telling me how sorry he was, and he just kept apologizing over and over. He said he didn't know what got into him.
And you believed him?
Yes, I did.
Really?
It was a one-time thing. It was completely out of character. I didn't know what got into him. So yes, I did believe him.
All right, and what happened after that?
Well, he took me to the hospital and we checked in, and that's when I learned that my elbow was dislocated. Then Daniel left and Rebecca came to stay with me overnight. And then the next morning I had time to clear my mind and I told Rebecca exactly what happened.
So you told her that he had actually hurt you?
Yeah, she wanted me to press charges with the police, but honestly, I was hesitant. I didn't want it to turn into a big thing.
But this was a big thing, was it not?
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, it was a big enough deal that you felt the need to file a police report, right?
But that was Rebecca's idea. But yes, I was released from the hospital. We stopped and got some pain medication for my arm. And then we went to the police and filed a report. Then we went to the motel, I checked in, and Rebecca left to stay with her dad.
And her dad, that's Charles, right?
Yes, Charles.
So was Charles aware of the assault that had happened?
Yes, I told him that night.
Was anyone else besides Charles and your daughter Rebecca aware of the assault?
The only other person was my neighbor, Janice. She must have heard the screaming because she texted to see if everything was okay. I wrote her back that same night and told her exactly what happened.
Now, are you and your neighbor really close? Because, and this could just be a me thing, but that seems kind of a strange thing to tell a neighbor.
Sure, somewhat, I guess. I mean, we look out for each other, as neighbors are supposed to.
Now, I'm wondering, do you think that maybe one of those three would have a reason to kill Daniel? I mean, considering they now know how abusive he can be, I mean, maybe that was enough to push them over, the limit to maybe take matters into their own hands?
Absolutely not.
But what about you? Was that enough of a reason for you to kill Daniel? Maybe make sure that he never lays a finger on you again?
Absolutely not, no. Like I said, it was a one-time thing. It wasn't that severe.
Wasn't that severe? Emma, I'm staring at you and you have a dislocated elbow. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that is pretty damn severe.
Look, the guy got jealous, okay? I mean, he'd been under a lot of pressure at work and he was in a shitty mood. He made a really poor decision that he immediately regretted. Is it okay that he hurt my arm? Of course not. But we can't change the past. And I do believe he was truly sorry.
Okay. Fair enough. So Emma, is there anything else that you feel that I should know about this whole situation?
None that I can think of.
All right. We're going to take a little break. Just ask that you just hang here for a bit, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, you saw the interview. You think she's being completely honest? I really can't say for sure. What I want to know from you is if you think she's telling the truth about how severe the abuse was,
And I'm talking both physical and verbal. That's a major piece of this whole thing. Whether she's being honest or not will give us a decent idea on how to move forward with this investigation. So let's make sure we really judge this correctly. The right approach should get her to open up a bit more. I'll trust your judgment with that. You tell me, and that's how I'll proceed with her. No rush. Look over whatever you need to and call me back. All right, talk soon. Hey. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. It definitely feels like she's downplaying the abuse. The question is why. I'll push her on that. Let's see if we can squeeze more out of her. All right, give me a second, we'll get things back up and running.
This is a continuation with Emma Richardson. Now, Emma, I gotta say, I don't think that you were telling me the whole truth. I don't.
About what?
Well, about your relationship with Daniel, but more importantly, about the abuse you experienced, Emma. I mean, look, you have a dislocated elbow. The guy put you in the hospital, and for what? Because he was jealous? Come on, Emma. You know that is not normal behavior. It's not. All right, that is pretty damn severe. Now, what I'm trying to wrap my head around is, why are you covering for this guy? Why are you downplaying everything that happened to you? Look, Emma, it is okay, right? It is okay to talk to me. It is okay to tell me the truth. In fact, that is the easiest thing to do right now. So please, Emma, just tell me the truth.
Okay. It was severe, okay? It was very severe. You know, I thought I knew him. I was falling for him. I thought he was perfect. But looking back, I can see that the signs were there all along. I was just blinded by wanting to move on and find a new partner. But, you know, when he showed his true colors, not only did he hurt me, but he threatened to kill me and my daughter at gunpoint. Okay? At goddamn gunpoint.
Wait, I'm sorry, when did that happen?
The day after I got out of the hospital, I think it was a Monday.
Okay, can you tell me exactly what happened?
I stopped by the house that afternoon to pick up some of my stuff. I knew he'd be at work, so it was a good time to go. I was there maybe 5 minutes, and that's when he showed up. I was in the middle of packing, and he could clearly see that I was leaving. This must have really pissed him off, because he immediately went to the bedroom closet and grabbed a gun. I mean, I was in shock. I didn't even know he had a gun. And then he threw me on the ground and pressed the gun really hard against my forehead. He kept yelling that the police were questioning him at work. Apparently, after I filed the reports, some cops were questioning people. They even questioned some of my neighbors, including Janice. Apparently, the higher-ups at work were really alarmed by all this because they put him on immediate leave until this all got sorted out. That's why he got home early that day. This must have been really embarrassing for him because he was really angry. He kept yelling that Rebecca and I needed to recant our story and to tell the cops that he never hurt me. I mean, he kept saying that he was acting in self-defense and that I pushed him. He was literally trying to make it seem like it was my fault. And then he made it a point to tell me that he was in control of my life, my job, my home, everything. And that he could take that away anytime he wanted. So then he told me that if we didn't tell the police his version of what happened, that he wouldn't think twice about putting a bullet in each of our heads.
Wow. Wow. So, Emma, why did you lie to me?
Because I thought you would see this as a clear motive for killing him, that's why.
And I get that. I get that. But, okay, but why in the situation that happened, why not in that moment? Why didn't you immediately go to the police? I mean, heck, you could have even filed a restraining order against him, Emma.
Because they didn't do shit the first time, that's why. I had already told them that he had physically assaulted me. I was literally in the hospital because of him. But did they protect me? Huh? Did they? I can answer that for you, Detective. No, they didn't protect me. In fact, that son of a bitch threatened to kill me even after I went to them. So no, I didn't think it mattered. So don't get me started about a restraining order. You think a restraining order, some just like little piece of paper, would stop someone like him? Someone who had threatened to kill me? Give me a break.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. So tell me what happened after he had threatened you.
He left. And I immediately gathered all my stuff and I left too.
Now there's a flaw here though, right? I mean, there should be security cam footage of Daniel coming in the house and leaving the house, right? During that time. I mean, we have footage of you, and we got footage of you and Janice, but we literally have absolutely no footage of Daniel during that time at all.
That's because he came in through the back. He didn't use the front door. It was like he was trying to catch me off guard or something.
And I'm going to assume that because you guys don't have a security camera in the back, then that means there's no record whatsoever of him coming in or out of the house. Does that sound right?
Correct.
Now, I'm also wondering, do you know why there would be no security cam footage from Resources, Emma? All right, you do not have to go this alone.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, Emma, let's give you a break, okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was a lot. If she's telling the truth, Daniel's got some pretty serious issues. It is weird that he would go through the back, though. I mean, it's possible, but considering how in the moment he probably was, it does strike me as odd. I don't know. There's a lot to process here. All right, we got to keep these interviews going. Let's see what more we can uncover here. I got her ex-husband, Charles, up next. Let's see what this guy's got to say. Hang tight. Bye.
All right, Charles, we are recording. Today is September 19th. I am Detective Martin Ruiz, badge number 7621. And with me here is Charles Humphreys. So, Charles, we'll just start with you spelling your first and last name for me.
Okay. CharlesHumphries.
And can you please acknowledge that this statement is being video and audio recorded and that you are consenting to this recording?
Yes, I do.
And lastly, if you can please acknowledge that we have already gone over your rights and that you are willfully making this statement.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you, Charles. So, Charles, let's just start with you telling me, why were you seen entering Daniel's house the day of his death?
Well, I was doing a favor for Emma, right? I went there to pick up some items that she had forgotten, right? She didn't want to enter that house again, so I went there for her.
And what sort of items were you picking up?
It was like some clothing and other personal items, right? I didn't sort through the bag, so I'm not 100% sure what may have been in it.
So you said bag, so you were there to pick up a bag of hers, is that right?
Correct, right. She put it by the front door in the entryway. I walked in, I grabbed the bag, and I left.
And Charles, you're a realtor, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So that means you get to pretty much set your own hours, right?
To an extent, sure.
Now, you didn't have any appointments or any meetings that morning?
That is correct.
So, did you see Daniel when you went inside the house?
No, I didn't. I didn't see his car in the driveway either, so I just assumed he wasn't home. But look, I didn't even go in the house. I just went in the entryway, I grabbed Emma's bag, and I left. That's it.
Now, are you aware that Daniel had been killed on that day and that his body was found inside that house?
I'm aware of it now, but at the time, no. I wasn't aware of it at the time.
So what do you know about Daniel's death?
I know that he was apparently shot and killed. I'm also aware it possibly could have been a suicide, that he took his own life.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that he took his own life?
Certainly seems like a possibility, yeah.
So how well did you actually know Daniel?
Not well at all. I mean, I mostly knew about him through Rebecca. I only personally met him a few times. A few times that I did meet him in person, I mean, he seemed like a pretty cool guy, right? He was friendly and upbeat, just a good all-around guy. It wasn't until much later that I learned about him abusing Emma. Needless to say, that changed my opinion of him real quick.
Yeah, I could imagine. So tell me about Emma. What is your relationship like with Emma?
Emma and I are on pretty good terms, all things considered. Right? We were married for almost 20 years. We had Rebecca. Everything was going really well. But, I mean, slowly things just didn't work out like we had hoped. So we got divorced about 2 years ago. I mean, it wasn't an ugly divorce or anything like that. But we both agreed that it wasn't working out, so we decided to call it quits. Right? And here we are.
So do you still stay in touch with her?
It's not like we're best friends or anything like that, but we have a daughter together. So, yeah, we are in touch from time to time.
And do you still care for her?
Not in a romantic way, no, but as a person and the mother of my child, yes, absolutely do care about her.
So would you be willing to do anything for her?
What, like murder?
Yes, Charles, like murder.
No, of course not. Look, I would be willing to do almost anything for her because I still care about her. The murder, no, absolutely not.
So you're telling me that you did not kill Daniel when you went inside that house?
No, of course not. Look, I told you I didn't even see the guy, but if I did, I'm not going to kill him.
So what about Emma? You think that maybe Emma killed Daniel? I mean, she's got more reasons to kill him than anyone else.
No, Emma didn't kill Daniel. That's ridiculous.
And how can you be so sure about that?
Because she's not a killer. She's like the sweetest person I know.
Well, what if she maybe hired someone or got some help? You don't think that that's possible?
No, I don't think that's possible.
Well, look, Charles, the reality is that somebody killed Daniel, okay? That is a fact. Now, we know that Emma has been on the receiving end of his abuse, all right? Now, that has got to be scary as hell for her. Okay, now, Charles, I'm not saying that Emma killed Daniel, okay? But, Charles, we at least have to entertain the idea that maybe she wanted him dead. Now, I don't think that that's far-fetched at all. Hell, Charles, I have seen people killed for far less, all right? So you don't think that Emma maybe just wanted him dead? You don't think that that's possible?
Look, I have no doubts that she wanted this man out of her life. That's obvious. But to think Emma would wish death upon him or anybody else for that matter? No, I don't believe that. I do not believe that she wanted him dead. No.
You really don't?
No, I really don't.
All right, Charles, we're going to take a short break, all right? Just ask that you sit here for a bit and I'll be right back, all right?
Yeah, no worries.
All right, we got to hear his take on things. Now, the main thing I'm questioning at the moment is whether or not Emma is capable of either committing this murder or getting someone else to do it. She really does seem like the person that has the most to gain from Daniel's death. But her ex, he doesn't seem to think that she has that in her. I don't know. You think Charles is telling the truth? You think he really believes that Emma is incapable of going through with murder? Does he really believe that she had absolutely nothing to do with this? Again, we got to be careful with how we judge this. Pushing him in the wrong direction may not get us the info we need. I want to know what you think. I'll proceed based on that. So just give me a call when you know, and we'll go from there. All right? Bye.